Hi, welcome to Rock Up TV. My name is Robin O'Leary, and today we're going to be looking at the importance of pressure for footwork. So if you haven't seen the videos so far on footwear and precision and accuracy, click on the links in the description below. But precision and accuracy really leads on to this point about pressure. And if I place my foot carefully, so with the precision and accuracy that we looked at in the last video, it will give me confidence. And that confidence is important because I will have to apply pressure to the hold, which this video is all about. And following pressure kind of leads to trust. And footwork's all about that trust. And knowing that I've placed that foot precisely and carefully, and then not even having to think about it because I know I'm pushing through it. I can feel that pressure. So I hope you enjoy this video. If you do, click like and subscribe. Okay, so pressure, what is it? When it comes to climbing, we're going to be stepping on so many different types of footholds. We've got smaller footholds, we've got slopers, different positive angles and less positive angles. All of them have to have pressure applied to the hold in order for them to stick. If we place our foot poorly and we don't have any kind of confidence in them and we're not really weighting a toe, it'll probably slip. So it's really important that we're going to push our weight through the toe. In climbing, the most important part of our climbing shoe is the big toe. I don't know if you've ever played around with your toe, your foot, but the power in your toe comes from that big toe. It's the kind of pivotal point, and that's what we're going to be really focusing on. So whether it's a small hold or a big hold, we're really going to be looking at that pressure we get from the big toe. So looking at the different types of footholds in a climbing centre and about that pressure. So we've got two really kind of distinct style of footwork in climbing centre. We've got a positive hold with a really positive edge, and on the flip side, to the extreme, we've got a volume, really sloping. So on one, I need to apply that pressure to a positive edge and on a slopey edge. So as soon as there's a lip involved, I need to apply that pressure through the big toe. Now, if I did that on a volume and I lift my heel up, I'm going to slip, I'm going to lose focus. And a really basic example of this is essentially holding your hand, either hand out as a slab. Now, if I pull my hand across it with no pressure, it slips. If I apply pressure and I really pull, that's going to stick. Now, on a sloper, if I lever that heel high or lift that heel high, again, I've lost that contact, that surface area. So we're going to look at two different aspects of pressure, and it's all to do with that heel position and pushing through the big toe. Okay, so the first foothold we're going to look at is a positive edge one. So this can be on a slab, it can be a vertical wall, it could be on an overhang. The positive edge is the fact that you've got a flat surface area, it's not sloping. So we're going to look at some footholds on this wall, for example this black one. So the first part of footwork we've looked at is about that precision and accuracy. And I'm going to apply that pressure. Now if I have a low heel in this position, you can see it's like having a baggy shoe. My toe comes off the hold, so in order to apply pressure to the big toe, I'm going to have to lift my heel up and really push through that big toe. And it's all about confidence and pushing. I've got to push through that big toe so the pressure from my big toe goes onto the hold. Now if you see me step on that same hold and drop my heel, I literally slipped off. I wasn't even planning on doing that. Because suddenly I'm only stepping on the edge of that hold, and I want to get as much rubber in contact with that hold and push through it. So it's really important to really feel the different angle. Another really important point that comes from the high heel is that on a positive edge, it means that it's going to help me get my hips closer to the wall. And we're going to look at that in a little bit more detail now. So yeah, sorry if you can hear any drilling sounds, the guys are setting today. But yeah, we're going to look at this heel position in relation to the hold. So if I'm stepping on the edge of this step and I really relax my body and I drop my heels, what actually happens without me firing with my core is that my legs will want to straighten. And what follows that is my bum, it's going to pull my bum away from the wall. So when you step on a sloper, for example, we do want to maximise that surface area, as we'll see in a second. But if I'm standing on a positive foothold and I lift my heels, the opposite's going to happen. As I lift my heels, it's going to push my bum into the wall. So if I'm doing a more dynamic move and I'm lifting that heel high, it's going to push me in the right direction. It's a really important point. Okay, so we've just looked at the importance of that heel position in relation to steps, but now we're going to kind of focus on what it looks like on a hold. So when I step on this black hold at the bottom here, I'm going to really place my toe and I'm going to lift my heel high, and I'm going to put that pressure through the big toe where I want it. Now, it's not to exaggerate it. If I step like a ballerina, I'm going to have such a kind of awkward position. I'm not going to push through my toe. My toe can't flex. It's just going to be like this. So you have to kind of listen to your body, do it within reason, but really focus on the pressure through the big toe. Now, if I step onto a more slopey hold, like the blue, or even better example, this purple, and if I lift my heel up now, you can see that the surface area reduces to the point it slips off. That's a really important point to make when we're looking at slopers. Pressure on a sloper is about maximising surface area. So I really want to push through my heels and get as much rubber in contact with that hold. Think of it like a Formula 1 car with tyres. It really wants to kind of get as much weight through those tyres as possible. So I'm going to climb on this purple, or these holds, and you can really see the difference in what happens when I lift my heel and drop my heel. So here I've got low heels, I'm pushing, I feel really confident, relaxed. As soon as I start to lift my heels, I'm going to start to get really insecure and genuinely fall off that hold. It's scary. And that happens on slabs all the time. Whew, close. But it's really important that if you lift your heels too high, you just lose that contact with the hold. So pressure is really important in both aspects. Whether it's a positive hold, a smaller hold, it could be big. If it's got a positive edge, I want to lift that heel. If it's a really slopey hold, I'm going to drop that heel. Okay, so you're joining me up here for a reason. When it comes down to footwork, like I said in the first two videos, it's all about practice, or perfect practice. But you've got to feel comfortable in what you're doing. Now here I'm stepping on a volume. You can see my heels are low, like we've just discussed. And it's really worthwhile practicing, moving around, getting confident in the footholds that you're using. So here, for example, I can really relax. I'm barely using this hand, it's just a hook. But if I get onto good holds and I play around with lifting my heels high, you can see that they slip. And if you get used to kind of dropping them, they stick. Same on this hold, if I lift it too high, it's gonna slip off. But then on the flip side, I can go onto positive holds and see the importance of kind of lifting my heels and sucking my hips into the wall, again, in order to relax my handhold. I could go onto smaller holds. So here, for example, you can see the difference between dropping my heel on a slopey volume and then lifting it on a small foothold. Again, perfect practice makes perfect. So get out there, play around with the holds, experiment, and get used to applying the appropriate amount of pressure through that big toe. I hope you enjoyed this video about pressure for footwork for climbing. It's such an important point to make. If you want to see it or look at it in more detail, click on the link in the description below for a more in-depth video. The next video in this series is going to be about pivoting and foot matching. So stay tuned. If you liked it, click like and subscribe for more content from Rock Up TV.